So let us see how we can make use of these Apptainer containers in order to use software without having to have them installed on Orion. And this is really this is the solution we will go for the rest of Bin 310 and that we use a lot. Yeah, not always, but very much more frequently than any other solution, I think. So before I actually do this, let me go back to the terminal, and we run this FastP software earlier because we saw that we could load it, right, by these modules, because it's installed on Orion on this version here. This version is installed on Orion. So we could load or type module load and then the name of the software, and it was loaded. And now we can actually run it, right? Like this, FastP, and we got some sensible output here as a help text. Now, what if this software was not installed on Orion? If I type module purge, I actually take away all the module loadings again. It's like sort of starting from scratch. And now I should actually load the Slurm here, because I also killed that one, if you remember. I should at least have the Slurm loaded and also the Slurm utils, right? There was a software called that as well. So this is how it looked like from the beginning, right? But no FastP software. So if I now try to run FastP, it's not found. And most software we will use in Bin 310 and in bioinformatics in general is not installed on Orion. Of course, we can ask the IT people to install them, but then there are new versions appearing all the time, and that will be a very busy schedule for the IT people if they have to install all kinds of software in all kinds of versions for all kinds of people all the time. So we should manage without that, and that's why we turn our attention now to these containers, Apptainer containers. So let me show you how we go around and solve this. Go to this website here, and I have to say this is not the only website where we can download Apptainer containers from. On the contrary, we will probably see some other solutions also in Bin 310 later, but this is a very popular one. And let me click on this one and open it in a new tab here. If the internet connection is with us, here it is. And here we now have listed, each link here is to a new software. And there are a lot of them here. I have never counted this, but it must be thousands of different softwares that you can actually download for free from this website. This is amazing, right? This is a gold mine of software tools available to us completely for free. And now I'm curious, is there a container for this FastP software here? And you notice it's alphabetically sorted, so you can actually scroll down to F of FastP. But if you use Control F, you can get a search window up here, and you can type in the FastP, and here we can see. And then typically there are some bioconductor packages. This is not what I'm looking for really, but they are listed because the word FastP appears inside here. But you can see out here on the right hand side here, there's another section here where there are also some hits. So I should scroll down here, and it's FastQ, and a little bit further down now, I think. No, sorry. Should scroll up, of course. It's alphabetical. Here are the hits I'm looking for. Fast P containers. And you can see there are many different versions. And here is the version that we had on Orion, 0.23 something. And you can see there are newer versions here. And it's even a 1.0 version. Fast P here, 1. This seems to be the newest, right? And here is something else, Fast PCA, that's something else. And fast. So you have to be a little bit careful when you scroll through this to make sure you copy what you are actually interested in, and also the most recent version. Of course, you may be interested in old version, I don't know, but usually we are just interested in the newest version, I would say. And this is from June 2025, so this is very new. So how do we actually get hold of this container now? Well, you move your mouse over it and you right click with your mouse. And then you copy shortcut, or copy the link. And then we are done here. We go back to the terminal. And now you maneuver to the folder where you want your container. And I'm in this module 5 folder, and I can list all the content here. Yeah, this is where I want to put this container now. So I don't need to move anywhere. And how do I actually copy it? Well, you type wget, and then you right click to just paste in the link that we copied. Notice how we have this link here to that website, right? And then return, and the download starts. And this took very short time because it's a small container, obviously. So notice that we copied the link. We did not click on the link to download. If you do that, if I go back here to the, if you left click on the link here, it will be downloaded to your laptop. And then you have to transfer it to Orion. That's also possible, but it's much faster to just right click here and copy the link. Then go to the terminal, logged in on Orion, and do what I did here. Now if I list the content again here, you will see that here it is now. This is the container. What we typically do now is we rename it slightly. I want to have a file extension here, .sif. It's not really necessary, but I like to do it like this because I want all my Apptainer containers to end with this extension, .sif. And that's because Apptainer used to be called Singularity before. So SIF is just a short for Singularity Image File. So how do I change the name? I use the mv command in Unix for moving. I move this file into this file. Can you see that? I just move the old name of the file into the new name of the file, and the only difference is this file extension, like this. So now if I list the content again, we will just see that it's the same file. It's there, it's just got a new name. And now I understand immediately that this is a container, right? Because it has the SIF extension. We should also make the file executable. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you look at the file permissions here, you can see that I have the permission to read and write this file, but not executing it. And that is a good idea, or it's actually required. And how do we change file permission? Well, it's this code here, this command here, chmod. So I want the user, that's me, the owner of the file, to be added execute permissions to this particular file here. This is how I can do it. Oops. Change permissions for the user, that's me, plus X means I add execution permissions to this particular file. And now if I just list again, first you can see it changed its color. And that's typical, because now I have also executable permissions. All pink listed files are executable. This is only for me. I can see that other people don't have that here now. If I wanted to make it executable for everyone, I could type UGO, meaning user, group, and others. That's all users actually, plus X. Then it's executable for everyone. And instead of just typing the name, I can do like this, star.cif. Then I will do this for all CIF files. But there is only one CIF file here. But that's usually what I do, because I sometimes have several containers here, right? I download several softwares and I want this to apply to all of them. So that will do it for all. Of course, this didn't change much now because it was already executable for me, but now it's executable also for the people in the group which I'm a member of, and everyone else actually too. But of course, it's not important to make it executable for everyone else, because we typically have it in a folder where everyone else don't have access. So but I just did it to show you. And now, how do we actually use the software? How can we run fastp when we have the container? You can't simply type fastp. It's not enough to just have the container lying around. The software is still not available. You have to do like this. You have to type Apptainer exec and the name of the container, and then you can type fastp. So you can see that this part here will sort of open up the container, and then inside there is a software, and then you can type the command fastp to start running it like this. Then it's the same as before, but notice now we don't need to load any modules. So if I look at the module list, fastp is not loaded, and it could not be available at all for all that matters on Orion. I don't need that anymore, because now I have the container. I can open up the container and run the software. And I can have multiple containers with different versions of this software lying now here. They will not interfere with each other, because the software will not be, I open the container in the same line as I actually run the software. So now I have the 1.01 version, I can have the old 0.23 version, and I will just open that container and run fastp in the same way. And of course, if we think back to the scripts we make, instead of having this module load statement in the script, you can take that away now. But on the command line, you have to add these here now, right? Naming the proper container that you have downloaded. And then you proceed with the rest of the command line as before. So So that's something you should try to do now. And this is how we will use software for the most of bin 310. We will see some other solutions later, but this is what we will typically prefer.